Have you heard the news that China was humiliated and defeated in a United Nations debate? In a shocking turn of events, China faced a crushing defeat in the UN debate over the West Philippine Sea, leaving them humiliated on the global stage. Diplomats from around the world gathered in the iconic UN General Assembly Hall. All eyes were on this high-stakes debate. The issue at hand, the West Philippine Sea and China's aggressive actions. The world watched, ready to witness a battle of words and a test of international law. The tension was palpable. The weight of history and the future of the region hung in the balance. Would might make right, or would the rules-based international order prevail? The world held its breath. The gavel fell, signaling the start of a debate that would send shockwaves across the globe. Troubled waters, a fitting metaphor for the ongoing conflict. The West Philippine Sea dispute explained in detail. The West Philippine Sea, a vital maritime route for global trade, has become a flashpoint in Asia, drawing international attention. At its heart lies the West Philippine Sea, a section claimed by the Philippines as part of its exclusive economic zone, or EEZ, which extends 200 nautical miles from its shores. This claim is backed by international law, specifically the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, which grants coastal states rights over their EEZs. However, China asserts historical rights over almost the entire West Philippine Sea, including the West Philippine Sea, based on its 9-dash line. This dispute has simmered for years, with China increasingly assertive in its actions, conducting naval exercises and patrols. Chinese Coast Guard vessels frequently harass Filipino fishermen, blocking them from their traditional fishing grounds and causing economic hardship. Artificial islands have been built by China in the region, complete with military installations, airstrips and radar systems. This militarization raises tensions and threatens the delicate balance of power in the region, with potential global implications. Dragon's arrogance, China's misplaced confidence. China, emboldened by its economic and military might, entered the UN debate with an air of overconfidence. Their delegation, composed of seasoned diplomats, exuded an aura of impenetrable self-assurance. They seemed to believe that their narrative, one of historical dominance and indisputable claims, would be readily accepted. Their opening statements were forceful, bordering on dismissive of opposing views. They reiterated their well-rehearsed talking points about indisputable sovereignty and historical rights, seemingly expecting the international community to simply acquiesce. They underestimated the growing global concern over their actions in the West Philippine Sea and the resolve of the Philippines and its allies. Philippine fury, a legal and moral counteroffensive. The Philippine delegation, however, came prepared to fight. They had spent months gathering evidence and formulating their arguments. Armed with irrefutable evidence and a powerful moral argument, they delivered a blistering rebuke to China's claims. Their voices echoed with determination and resolve. They meticulously laid out the legal basis for their sovereignty over the West Philippine Sea, citing UNCLOS provisions and international maritime law. Each point was backed by solid documentation. Their presentation was not just about legal technicalities, it was a heartfelt plea for justice and a defense of their fishermen's livelihoods. The emotional weight of their words was palpable. They presented evidence of Chinese aggression, videos of Filipino fishing boats being rammed and sunk, testimonies from harassed fishermen who spoke of their fear and desperation, and satellite imagery of China's island-building activities. These images painted a stark picture of the ongoing encroachment. The world listened, captivated by the David and Goliath struggle playing out before their eyes. The international community's attention was firmly fixed on this unfolding drama. Section 5, Allies United, a chorus of condemnation against China. The Philippines was not alone. One by one, representatives from countries around the world rose to echo their support. The United States, a longtime ally of the Philippines, reaffirmed its commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific, condemning China's coercive actions and calling for a rules-based order. Japan, Australia, and European Union members voiced their concerns about China's behavior, emphasizing the need for peaceful resolution and respect for international law. Even countries traditionally hesitant to challenge China, like some Southeast Asian nations, expressed unease over its actions. The global consensus was clear. China's actions in the West Philippine Sea were unacceptable. Section 6. Crumbling facade. China's representatives rattled as the debate progressed and the condemnation grew louder. A visible shift occurred within the Chinese delegation. The atmosphere in the room grew tense and the pressure was palpable. Their initially confident demeanor began to falter. The once composed and assured representatives now showed signs of distress. Their rehearsed speeches and carefully crafted arguments seemed to crumble under the weight of international scrutiny and the sheer force of the opposing arguments. The cracks in their facade became more apparent with each passing moment. Gone was the air of effortless superiority, replaced by a palpable unease. The confidence they once exuded was now overshadowed by visible anxiety. Their responses became more defensive, their tone shifting from assertive to agitated. The strain in their voices was unmistakable. They resorted to familiar rhetoric and accusations, attempting to deflect criticism by labeling it as interference in internal affairs and a Cold War mentality. These tactics, however, seemed increasingly desperate. However, their words rang hollow, failing to resonate with the global audience. The room's silence spoke volumes, highlighting the growing disconnect between China's stance and the international community's expectations. Section 7. World Witness. Global media captures China's embarrassment. The world watched with bated breath as the events unfolded. News outlets across the globe, from CNN to the BBC to Al Jazeera, provided live coverage of the debate. Headlines screamed of China humiliated and Philippines triumphs at UN, capturing the essence of the dramatic showdown. Images of frustrated Chinese diplomats struggling to defend their position were beamed across the globe. Analysts and commentators dissected the debate, highlighting China's isolation on the world stage and the growing pushback against its assertive foreign policy. The event dominated social media with hashtags like #WestPhilippineSea and #WestPhilippineSea trending worldwide, amplifying the message of China's diplomatic setback. Section 8. A triumph for justice. The Philippines savor their victory. For the Philippines, the United Nations debate was a resounding victory. They had successfully exposed China's aggressive behavior on the world stage and garnered international support for their cause. The debate was a testament to the power of international law and a rules-based order, demonstrating that even a small nation could stand up to a powerful bully. The victory was celebrated with jubilation in the Philippines. People took to the streets waving Philippine flags and chanting slogans of solidarity and gratitude. The government hailed the outcome as a vindication of their stance and a testament to their commitment to peaceful resolution through international mechanisms. Section 9. What next? China's options after the UN debacle. The UN debacle leaves China in a precarious position. They face a choice: double down on their aggressive tactics or pursue a more conciliatory approach. Doubling down would further isolate them on the world stage and risk further diplomatic and economic repercussions. A more pragmatic approach would involve engaging in good faith negotiations with the Philippines and other claimant states. This would require China to acknowledge the concerns of the international community and demonstrate a genuine commitment to peaceful resolution within the framework of international law. Section 10. Shifting tides. The debate's impact on regional dynamics. The UN debate has the potential to be a turning point in the West Philippine Sea dispute. It has galvanized international opposition to China's actions and emboldened smaller nations to assert their rights. This could lead to increased cooperation among Southeast Asian nations and greater involvement from extra-regional powers like the United States, Japan and Australia in upholding a rules-based order in the region. The debate has also highlighted the importance of international law and multilateral institutions in resolving disputes peacefully. This could strengthen the role of UNCLOS and other international legal frameworks in managing maritime disputes and promoting stability in the region. Section 11. A new dawn. Hope for a rules-based order in the West Philippine Sea. The UN debate, while a significant victory for the Philippines, is just one battle in a long and complex dispute. However, it represents a glimmer of hope, a sign that international pressure and a united front can potentially deter aggression and promote a rules-based order. The path ahead remains uncertain, but the debate has shown that the world is watching and that China cannot act with impunity. The international community must remain vigilant, continuing to uphold international law, support smaller nations, and work towards a peaceful and prosperous future for the West Philippine Sea.